The sheriff says that the officer's conduct has already been reviewed. They determined he followed the law. In addition to McGriff, 2 bystanders were arrested. They're accused of violating a controversial new Florida law. It's called the HALO law. Police say those 2 women broke the law by coming within 25 feet of that officer. We want to dig into that here now. That's why we have NBC News legal analyst Misty Marris here with us. So first of all, tell us, what is this HALO law? It's new in Florida, but it's not the only state that has this,
correct.
Right?
So the HALO law is a 25-foot buffer around law enforcement or any first responder while they're engaged in their duties. So if somebody is told by law enforcement to back up and intentionally enters that 25-foot boundary, they can be charged with a misdemeanor and subject to fines and 60 days in jail.
This feels like it could be somewhat subjective, especially if you're looking at words like harassment. That can be kind of vague. Is this the kind of thing that could be easily challenged in court by someone who's arrested?
So it's pretty easy to see because there's other states that have actually enacted this law, Indiana being one of them, and it is on pause by the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals for that vagueness, that the statute is not sufficiently specific enough as to how to actually enforce these laws. So it can be too subjective for officers and ultimately lead to improper conduct because there really is no guidance. So in this particular statute, that term harassment, as defined as in a legitimate emotional distress to an officer and for no legitimate purpose, but those terms aren't defined. So that's something that you're going to see being challenged.
I'm thinking of someone who, because everyone's got a camera now, it's their phone, might be recording an interaction like this. Could they be arrested under this law?
So that's actually one of the criticisms, that it impinges on First Amendment rights. So we know oftentimes bystander video is something that's used for transparency in law enforcement, and that is a First Amendment protected right. So the critics of this statute are also challenging it on those First Amendment grounds because it's a little foggy. They say that it doesn't preclude someone from videoing an interaction, but with that 25-foot rule, what does that really mean practically?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, as a journalist, I've always known, hey, if I'm on public ground, whether you like it or not, I can, take pictures of you or do whatever as long as I'm not infringing on your space. So just generally speaking, I mean, what kind of rights do people have when they're on the street? Does that change depending on what's happening around you?
Well, it can, because in any case, if you interfere with law enforcement, that could be criminal. So this is really about that 25-foot buffer and whether or not that is something that's specific enough to actually enforce without it being arbitrary. And to your point, media organizations were the first to actually step forward and say, this is a real First Amendment concern.
This is also something I think we're seeing more and more of when we see people protesting the ICE arrests. We've seen this all over the country. So if you are protesting something like an arrest, like it's happening in Portland or what we've seen in Chicago, what are your rights there?
Right. On October 18th, there's a No Kings protest that's going to be going on across the country. So as far as protests, it has to be peaceful. And there is restriction. It's not a free-for-all. Restrictions for time, place, and manner. So if you're blocking a road, that's illegal. Engaging in any violence, that's illegal. So it's important to understand what the local and state laws are, in addition to ensuring that you're not engaging in any illegal conduct outside of the protest.
All right. Misty Marris, good to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.